Hey everyone, this is Andy from GizChina, and today we're unboxing the Meizu MX4. Now this is a sample version of the phone that Meizu have given out to the media who attended the Meizu launch. I'm still here in Beijing, hence the different color desk and the rather lovely curtains. Anyway, so this is the packaging that the Meizu MX4 will ship in once it goes on sale. It's a little bit thicker than we normally see from Meizu phones, and as you can see, this has sample on the back. So this is not a final version, and Meizu have told us that the firmware in this phone isn't the final firmware, so a few bugs will be removed and we'll see some optimizations there. Okay, anyway, so the box simply opens up, and inside we have in this case, a European USB charger. This little booklet here is actually where the Meizu is situated. It's in there. It looks like a nice little book. And this is common for Meizu to do. They did this with the MX2 and the MX3, and you know, they've continued the theme with the MX4, but inside a box. We also get a USB data cable, and there's space here for what looks like earphones, but the sample that we've got doesn't have them. Perhaps with the actual production versions you will get earphones. Okay, let's bring the phone in itself. So this is the little book that the Meizu MX4 comes in, and as you open it up, it has some information there, more than better. Now this is the international version, so it's all in English. There's no Chinese in here whatsoever. You've got some information here about their phone, the camera, and then the Meizu MX4 itself. Now this is the black version of the phone, or the grey version of the phone should I say. And as you can see, it's got like a metallic-y grey rear panel, and it's completely black, all black across the front of the phone. Now if you're not sure about the specs, I'll just run through them quickly. The MX4 has a 5.36-inch display, which is a really odd size, and that's because Meizu used their own 15:9 ratio, and this is again something that Meizu have done, and it makes the Meizu MX4 a little bit unusual. It also makes it slightly shorter than a 5.5-inch phone, and not much, I mean, around the same sort of width, or a little bit narrower than a 5.5-inch phone too. Actually, compared to the 5.2-inch Vivo X-Shot, there's barely a millimeter difference in thickness, but the MX4 has a much larger display. Okay, so as we can see on the front, it's all completely black. We've got a front-facing camera up here, which you might just be able to see on the video. There are proximity sensors here and a receiver grill there. This is the screen itself, and then we've got the single halo button, and again, that's a Meizu trademark. There are no menu and navigation buttons here on the chin of the phone. All that navigation is handled by Flyme 4.0 and the Smart Bar. Alright, if we just move on to the edges of the phone, you can see we've got these really nice polished edges, and actually instead of this being a separate bezel piece as it was on the MX3, this is actually a polished part of the aluminium chassis. Now this is a magnesium alloy. Meizu say it's an aircraft grade aluminium, and it makes it very light, very strong, and it also helps disperse heat really quickly. In your hand it feels really comfortable. It is an extremely light phone, and that aluminium does feel nice, really good quality. The actual back panel itself, although it looks like it's one single piece here, it's actually a plastic panel, and it is removable, and in this case you don't need any strange little tool. You just stick your thumbnail in there and you just pop that off, and then you're inside. There's no NFC on the sample. We think there might be NFC on the production version, but that hasn't been confirmed just yet. We've got space for a single micro SIM slot there, and the MX4 supports GSM, WCDMA, and LTE networks, and this should work in Europe and also in the States as well, I imagine. We've got a 3100 mAh battery, which is non-removable, and we've got this dual tone, dual LED flash there to really improve skin tones for night photos. And this camera, this rear camera here, it's a Sony sensor. It's a 20.7 megapixel sensor. It's the same sensor that Sony themselves use on the Sony Xperia Z1 and Z2, so it's a really capable little camera on that. Around the edges of the phone with the panel back on, you can just about make out a volume rocker on the left hand side of the phone, and at the top we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, and again the Meizu MX4 has direct audio sound, so the audio quality through the external speaker and through headphones is really nice. We've got a power button here at the top, nothing along the right edge, and in the base we've got micro USB, a microphone, and we've got this single speaker grill there too, which is machined out. All nicely machined, all very comfortable, all very light and smooth, and it's a really exquisite looking phone. It's really nice. Let's turn it on. So we just power it up, hit the power button at the top, and we get the Meizu logo. And as you can see now, you can just make out just how thin those bezels are. This has got 2.6mm bezels, so it makes for a really narrow and very narrow phone considering the large display. So this is running Flyme 4.0. This is the latest version of the developer version of Flyme 4.0, and we will see an upgraded version on the final phone. Okay, once it's all booted up, you can see I've got 3G on my phone. I don't have a 4G LTE card here in China, but I will be testing that once I'm traveling around Europe next week. 3G is on there. I've got 24% of battery left. I've been using this phone all day since about 7 AM this morning, and now it is nearly 9 o'clock at night and I still have 24% left, and that's with QQ on, WeChat constantly on, 3G browsing, navigation and maps. The battery life on the MX4 is by far the best of any Meizu phone I've ever used. It's really impressive. Okay, changes for Flyme 4. As you can see, just flicking from screen to screen, it all looks very similar to Flyme 3.0. But there are some nice changes. For example, the notification area now extends all the way to the bottom of the screen. It used to stop just below where your notifications were, and although it doesn't really affect the usability, it was a bit annoying and rather ugly. You can see that I'm using an easy weather widget on the phone. If you set the phone up in Chinese, there's a really beautiful Flyme weather app in there, but as it is, it only supports Chinese cities, so for the English version, Meizu have taken it out for now. We might see it again later. You can see that we've got some toggles here for the most used bits and bobs, and you can move these around. If you don't want something, you just hold down on it and you can move it. You can move them around, you can switch them around, you can change to a different toggle that you use more. We can also extend it, and we have more toggles there too, and we can clear all your notifications with a simple press. So that's everything there, and you can see that now Meizu have given this a transparent look, so we can just about see through it. If it was a little bit lighter, that would be really nice, but again, it doesn't really affect the usability of the phone. Okay, what else do we have here? So, just flicking through, you can see we've got our normal Meizu Flyme icons. Actually, what I've done here, I've got it set up so it uses a mixture of Flyme and standard icons. But if I go, you can see here I've got the Google Play Store browser and everything on here. But if I go into the settings, just one moment, if I can remember where I put them, there. What I can actually do is I can change these icons to Flyme icons, and that will change the look. In a moment, there you go, you can see now most of the apps are using a Flyme icon. So, you know, it's a nice little feature there. And during the launch event, Meizu did mention that they'd created lots of different icons, and, you know, pretty much anything that you're running will have a Flyme icon. Okay, what else do we have on here? Okay, I already mentioned the Google Play Store. Now, this is a sample version of the phone. It's doesn't have Google Play as standard, and it will be added for international customers. As it is, the Google Play isn't working, but as I mentioned, and we've spoken to Meizu, and they've assured us that for the international version, Google Play and Google Play services will be part of Flyme 4.0, but as it is, they do not work properly at the moment. Alright, let's have a look. Another feature which you may have seen during the launch but isn't here is the voice assistant like Siri. Again, this is the English version and it's been removed for that. The camera application, this is something that I imagine a lot of you are going to be really interested in, is completely new for Flyme 4.0. This is the manual mode, sorry, the automatic mode, and we can simply click away here, taking photos, nice and fast. The MT6595 processor with 2GB of RAM really doesn't have a problem focusing, snapping away, and saving. If I don't want to use the automatic mode, I can simply swipe to manual, and I've got these different manual settings here. I can change the ISO, the exposure, the focal length, or I can set it all up so it's automatic, and even play around with the shutter speed. Another swipe, face beauty mode, in case you want to improve your looks, and this is all on the fly. If, for example, we had a picture of, if we had someone in front of the camera now, we could change the eye size, we could change the smile. It says slime here, but these things will be changed later for the English version of the phone. Panorama mode, refocus is something that we saw on the MX3, and basically what that allows us to do, if I just bring in something, we can focus on one area, take the photo, and once the photo is saved, what we can do is we can now change the focus area on the picture. Maybe you can't see that very well on here. Focus on the foreground, on the background. You can see? So this is an after focus feature, and it was on the MX3, and the MX4 gets it too. Moving back, because we have no navigation buttons, we can either press the back button there, or we can slide up, and that will take us back too. Okay, what else do we have? So we've got face beauty, panorama, refocus, a night mode, barcode scanner, slow motion video recording. As you can see, it's a little bit slow to keep up, but again, this will be optimized for the final version. Slow motion video and a macro mode. So there's plenty to go out there. There's lots to do with the camera, and you've got tons of different settings here. We've got the 20 megapixel setting there. We can move it down to 16, down to 10, and at 10 megapixels, what we can do is we can take 25 photos per second, which is just incredible. I'll just show you that now. Sorry, I've just gone back too far. So if you just hold it, pressing the run button, press hold on this. So it's taking 25 photos there really quickly and saving them away, and then we can go back. We can see each individual photo there. So really good if you're going to be taking action photos of sports events and other places. Okay, what else do we have? So if we go into the actual settings of Flyme, you can see that again it hasn't really changed all that much. We've got our icons here which tell us where to go to do different things, and if you're not sure what the icons mean, you can swipe it over and that will tell us what those icons are for. Languages, lots of different languages. We've got Chinese, German, English, Spanish, French, Italian, we've got Portuguese, Czechoslovakian, and there's Russian in there too. So, Meizu have really done a good job to try and make the Meizu MX4 and Flyme a little bit more accessible to different countries around the world and different languages. If we take a look at the lock screen, we've got the normal lock screen here. There is an option for double tap to unlock, but I've just turned it off for my phone. As standard, if I swipe over to the right from the lock, if I unlock the screen and swipe over to the right, we've got the camera application. So if I show you that again. So a really fast way of getting into the camera app. And what you can do for the left swipe, you can set that up to activate any app you like, and I've got it to set up on Google search. Again, as I'm in China, Google search is not working. It can't connect to the Google services. That's not Meizu's fault. That's the Chinese policy. So, but in Europe or in the States, that's going to be a really nice feature. You can just simply unlock your phone and start asking away, get navigation, ask for the nearest place, or even get translations straight from Google. Okay, all in all, it's a really nice little phone. It's extremely comfortable in your hand. Performance is amazing, and I'm going to show you that with a quick game. I've got Dead Trigger here. So this is a game that's designed for powerful NVIDIA processors. Then we're running a MediaTek chip on here, running at 2.2 gigahertz. It's an octacore processor with big little architecture. It really does handle quite well. I'm gonna go on this quickly. Please don't laugh at my gaming skills, I'm not particularly good, but you will see just how smooth and fluid the MX4 is for gaming. Alright, let's see, let's find some zombies to shoot. Alright, there's some. Okay, come on zombies, there we go. So you can see moving around from flicking, oh, I'm getting eaten, sorry. You can see I'm just spinning around, turning around quickly. And, you know, for a MediaTek processor, it's really quite impressive. Really smooth. We've got a really powerful GPU in here as well, which really helps things. So, you know, the Meizu MX4, you know, it works really well with this MediaTek processor, and it also shows us what we can expect for the future of Chinese phones over the coming months. It's a really, really capable processor. What we'll do when I do a full review, I'll download a few more graphically intensive games, and we'll see just how well it handles things like real racing and other games. But as it is, as you can see, works really well. Alright. Cool. So that's it, that's the Meizu MX4 for now. Like I say, it's a really comfortable phone. It's probably one of the most comfortable phones available at the moment. It's really nice and unique because of that huge screen that fits in such a tiny body and those really nice narrow bezels. You've got this lovely aluminium chassis, and you know, you've got a really capable ROM and rear camera there too. All in all, it's an amazing package, and for Chinese customers buying this phone for 1,799 RMB, they've got a real bargain on their hands. What we'll do, we'll keep you informed of how it is, how it continues, and once we've got a final firmware, we'll do a full review and we'll get that posted as soon as possible. If you have any questions about the Meizu MX4, about the Meizu launch, or about any phone that we feature on GizChina, please feel free to leave a comment. Thank you very much, and speak to you all soon. Goodbye.